Hello.
Hello, friends. It is I, Sir Anthony.
And I am Gabs.
Today we're going to be watching Grandma's Boy and reacting. Since we're in QA, we thought it would be kind of cool to look at something that captures our job.
So most of the stuff that we talk about is kind of more current and not based off of when the movie was first released. So most of the comments that we make are kind of more like our experiences or kind of how we saw it while working in certain companies.
Yeah, and so like I've been in QA for around 4 years now. How long have you?
Yeah, I've been in QA since 2016, so 4 years.
Yeah, so over the last couple of years, we have noticed a few things that get shown in this movie, so let's get right into it. I think this is one of the only movies where it actually looks like they're like playing a game.
I don't know, look at that guy. He's moving his controller like this. I don't think I've ever seen someone play a game.
Some people are shaky.
Hey! Come on! I spilled the ball! Stop!
Alright, what do you think about that office setup?
I mean, I feel like for smaller-ish companies where they actually have like in-house testers, that's kind of somewhat what it looks like, at least what I've seen in like interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But for like actually bigger corporations, at least like now, I don't really see that. It's more like everything's just gray and like a desk and your stuff is just set up there.
Yeah, and when we say smaller, it's not like 20 people or whatever. It's like studios with like 100, 150 people. They'll still have like posters of their past games. It's like I've been to Bungie, I've been to what's that shit called? The dudes who made Shadow of Mordor. I can't remember what their name is right now. I went to their studio a couple years ago, and they have like posters of all their past games. Yeah, I think that they got the vibe right, but as we'll see, I don't think they got the actual like cubicle office layout correct. But again, this movie is isn't it like 10 years old or something?
Yeah.
It's over 10 years old.
I feel like a lot has changed since then. I
Yeah.
feel like we just started like, like 4 years ago, so
Yeah.
a lot has changed.
City of Heroes is real. I played that game. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Is that Kenny?
Yeah, that is Kitty.
Brush your teeth. I'll see you later.
Falling asleep at the office.
Falling asleep at the office?
Like, okay, so obviously this company doesn't have a night shift, and everyone has their own desk. So everybody leaves. You think that's cool? He has nowhere else to go. And like you said, sleep in the car. So like, that's totally an option. But do you think that's a fireable offense?
I mean,
Like, he was working.
I'm not gonna lie, I've actually seen this in the workplace. Like, someone just straight up sleeping for like 30 minutes, an hour or something like that. Like, the boss was like nearby and he just didn't really care.
I've seen it during crunch. People will crash, like when we're at Microsoft, people would crash out on that like a little couch area.
But wasn't there a point where you guys were working like 48 hours or so, like straight?
Some people did. I think the longest I worked was like 16 or 17 hours or something like that. Then I drove home. But I lived far away, so I didn't want to push it too much. But yeah, during that time, people were just, there's that little couch and then that room in the back. Yeah, people were just passing out. Not like a shit ton, but there was a couple people that, you know, would fall asleep. I don't think that this situation really captures people falling asleep in the workplace, but I do think that it is a thing that can happen, especially if the company is like doing crunch time or whatever. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting note. Okay, so that last scene where they're showing like the different setups, people playing games, all that shit. For a smaller company, I think that's totally legit. A lot of people just do like what they want. Like as long as you get your work done, you do whatever, you know. Like there's people playing Halo. He's obviously drawing for his personal game. I've seen stuff like that all the time, and that's not even like frowned upon or anything. You know, you're allowed to work on your creative endeavors as long as you get your shit done.
I feel like it also depends like on your contractor, or if you're like working like full time with the company. At least around this time, it's like you'll see like contracts and stuff where it says you can't create stuff during work or it like belongs to them. Like,
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's totally true. But I mean, like as far as like playing games and drawing and shit, like you can, because he's actually working on a game, so that's not allowed. The company would take ownership of that.
Yeah.
But like playing Halo and drawing pictures and stuff on your break or whatever, that's totally fine. But yeah, you're completely right. I think that's in my contract. If I do anything during work or whatever, that they take ownership of it. But yeah, I think these guys are full-time employees from just the way that it's presented in the movie. I don't think that they're contractors. Especially since they all have their own like cubicles that are like really decorated and personalized. And everyone seems to have like a different setup inside their little cubicle space. It just seems more like a long-term thing than just a contract.
Well, I mean, currently right now I'm working on a contract, I'm working a contract right now, and it's like you can do whatever you want to your personal space, like that desk belongs to you. Just as long as whenever you leave, you just take all your stuff and return all the stuff that belongs to them. Like they don't.
You mean like leave the position, right? Not like leave for the day?
Yeah, leave the position.
Okay. It's like you gotta clean up your stuff every day. Imagine bringing all that every day.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. But yeah, let's continue.
The game is Frogbuck. Let's do it.
I think they nailed the break/lunchroom here. Like most gaming companies, not just because tech companies that aren't really in the gaming sphere are a little bit different, but most gaming companies have a lunchroom with like sodas and at least a TV or two where you can hook up consoles, play games together. People are playing their Switch or stuff on their phones, and it's like usually like an open environment like that.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, and it's like representing like stuff of the company too.
Yeah.
I know there's like a few companies that also do that. They just display all their stuff all over.
Yeah. No, I think they did a really good job with this.
For a while. After you, my lady.
This dude's like a nice guy before nice guys had a title.
Did the kids in school
Gay robot.
Eternal Death Slayer tips?
That game looks awesome.
I didn't mean soup. I'm thinking of getting metal legs. It's a risky operation, but it'll be worth it.
That sounds like you.
Kids in a break room, or as I call it, stupid idiot.
go back to sleep now.
Oh, well, don't you have to go to work?
Actually, I don't have to be at work for another 3.5 hours.
Oh, that's wonderful that you have all this extra time because we really could use your help around the house.
Oh, not a problem. What do you need me to do?
Just
So it was like what, like 7 or something? The time? He said he doesn't have to be at work for another like 3.5 hours. There's definitely like hella flexible schedules. So that's totally believable that he wouldn't have to work like until like 10:30.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies that don't start until like 10. There's some that don't start until like 8. Some that don't start until 6. It just depends what kind of company you're working for, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Alyx, I need you to deal with 10 through 15 because those are the real problem levels. And is he sleeping?
Yes, and possibly shitting his pants. Wake up, dude.
No chores, Grandma!
Nice rip, Alyx.
Rip what?
All right, you guys, come on, get to work. It's crunch time.
Seriously, rip what?
Why are you so tired?
Maybe because I was with 3 chicks last night. Something was like...
Okay, she was like assigning out different portions of levels to the testers. What role do you think she has?
Like a managerial position.
Yeah, like do like a senior QA lead or like a QA manager or something. I don't know, I never noticed that before though. 'Cause when I first saw her, I was thinking like producer or something, but she's like really direct, which makes me think that she's part of QA team. And how the fuck is this company set up anyways? You got, what was his name, JC as the only programmer, and then it doesn't talk about any artists, like designers, sound engineers, like nothing.
Maybe they're just there, but they don't focus on it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems like there's some cubicle, or not cubicle, some offices we don't get to see inside. That's just fucking weird. Yeah, it makes it seem like it's just JC doing all that shit.
Well, what if it's like they have the programmer there in case like anything goes wrong, but like they're outsourcing like artists or whatever.
That could be true as well.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, this shit's weird. And what is that, the yoga dude? Like, what was he the lead designer? Like, or is he like...
Nah, he's manager.
Like, is he like the representative for the publisher of the game? Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they explained it, but like, that, not very well.
Alright, let's keep going. I honestly wanted to play this as a kid. It looked like Predator with powers. It looked dope. So when I say I finished my first level, it's not like they're just going through and playing the game. It's like, I beat a level last night. I did good. They're like probably playing that level over and over and writing up bugs and trying to figure out issues and all kinds of other stuff. And they're probably doing specific like test cases for each level to test specific enemies and I don't know, level environment stuff, all kinds of things. So it's not just like, I beat a level, dude. It's like, he put some serious work in last night, probably.
Yeah, I feel like that, like, a lot of people think game testing is just like you're playing the game, like, from beginning to end.
Which is part of it.
I mean, there is, like, some testing that involves that.
Yeah.
But that's more like towards the end when
Yeah.
it's still like developing. Like you have to check everything, all the bosses, like NPCs, like the
Animations.
environment, animations, sounds.
Like sound cues, so you have to like press start a bunch of times to make sure it does the start sound every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And yeah, they probably like during the level press pause a bunch and made sure it doesn't like crash it or anything like that. Went through all the options at various parts of the level, just all kinds of little stuff like that, because they're trying to finish up the game, but they're still in like that rush to that, like it's like a bug fix time frame. But yeah, he didn't just play the level. So that's pretty good right there. You probably can't see it now because the thing is up, but he has his laptop up next to him, probably like marking off test cases in a spreadsheet or something like that as he plays. But yeah, I just noticed that he had his laptop open there. I thought that was a good detail.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
The reason why I'm the creator of EDS3 and you're just a tester.
How do you feel about that?
Eject!
I mean, there's a little bit to unpack there. So like he has too many hats that he's wearing. First of all, like he's the I guess lead designer, the programmer, artist. I don't know. But yeah, no, like so in a lot of ways, that relationship between almost every other discipline and QA is accurate, if not really exaggerated. QA isn't necessarily treated as part of like the game development process. We kind of like pick up the pieces at the end, and it's like, all right, our deadline is tomorrow. You guys better make sure the whole game's tested by then. It's like, dude, come on, like they don't like. The company I work at, I'm included in a lot of the planning and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily happen there very often, but like in the past, I've been a part of companies where it's just like, here you go, here's this thing with a lot of bugs. You better figure it out. It's like, hey, can we have overtime? I don't think this is gonna work out. Nope. And then like the day before a ship, it's like, hey, you guys should do overtime. It's like, dude, I said that in the beginning of the week. We could have just done that this whole week, and now we gotta like crunch or whatever. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff, totally accurate. It's like, you're just a tester. Yeah, that's in a lot of companies, that's the relationship, but not as you don't get to eject people.
Yeah, I feel like as a tester, you can't really make comments on like what should be changed as well. Like, it's not really your game. It's like the programmers, the artists, and like all the people that actually like built it up in like Unity or Unreal or whatever. You're just like testing it to make sure that nothing's broken. So you don't really get to put a lot of feedback and stuff. But this also does depend on like the company that you work with now. There is a lot of companies where they'll just have you like file some like suggestions and stuff, and then devs will be like, yeah, we could do that, or nah, we won't do that. But for the most part, I've kind of just seen kind of what they showed here, where it's like, yeah, you're just a tester, like just test the game, do these test cases, whatever.
And it goes even deeper than that, because like earlier we were talking about the contracts and stuff. So if you're not a full-time tester with the company, as in you are contracted directly with that company to work for them, if you're a contractor or you're on a contract through a third-party company, you don't get the same privileges as other people in the company. Again, this depends on the company, but a lot of companies have this like second-class citizen dynamic where it's like, I'm a full-time employee, I get to get this special meal or something, some perk, some extra thing, or like, we get copies of the game when it launches. You don't, because you don't work for the company. You know, just like little stuff like that, where it's just kind of like, it makes you feel kind of bad because you work just as hard as those people, but you're just not working directly for that company. So it's sometimes even worse than that.
I can see that.
But yeah, that was a good call out. Advertising for gay robot. I just want like a little desk plaque or something. I love it.
On level 4 and elves on level 6 of EDS 3 look way too similar. Could be confusing to some.
Well, what do you want me to do? I can't push the deadline any further.
Well, you wouldn't have to if you just rendered them different colors. Be cheap and wouldn't take more than a day or two.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that. That is a great idea.
Those are the only kind I have.
That right there too.
Yeah, I was just gonna stop it. So this type of thing happens twice in this movie, and we'll probably speak on it more later when it happens again. But like the stealing of ideas, and not only that, but taking credit for other people's work is like a really big thing. Not giving proper credit, especially if you're, as we discussed the relationship earlier, if you're just a tester compared to the other roles and you have a really good idea like that, sometimes just by merit of the like dynamics of the company, that idea gets passed up to, like, let's say your boss, and then gets taken to a meeting, and your boss takes credit for it, and then someone who's in the meeting is the one that presents it to the actual team who makes the decisions. Now suddenly it's their idea. Like, it's a, I don't know, I wouldn't say like political, but it's like a social dynamic that you have to tread carefully in order to get the proper credit for stuff. I'm sure it's worse like with artists and people who actually create stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I've also seen this happen to a lot of people. Not only at like previous places that I worked at, but like even the place that I work at like now. It's like you'll see someone like write something up, and then like a lead or like a manager will be like, "Oh yes, I did this." It's like, really? You can't just like give credit? Like, it's there. If someone were to like dive deep, they'll see that it came from this person. But
Yeah.
no one really cares. No one really dives deep. They just want the final product out. So, yeah.
You know, it just kind of goes back to that initial relationship where, like, if you're a contractor, no one really gives a fuck about you, so they're not gonna put in that extra effort to make sure that you're given that proper credit, or you're being taken care of as far as being an employee. Whereas if you are a full-time employee, or even just in a different discipline like QA, then you do kind of have that respect more. And like we said, it depends on the company. I'm not saying every single company in gaming is like this, but there are a lot of them, especially the bigger corporations, that do tend to hire mass amounts of testers through these third-party services and stuff like that. So yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. I suck. Relax, Kane. You're not a piece of shit. Just run it by Alyx. Maybe he'll talk to JP.
You see how that made him feel? Like, you see how much that ruined his day and hurt his feelings, that he didn't even like consider his idea, even though he took it, but like he didn't acknowledge it. Like, that shit's real. I just wanted to acknowledge that, because sometimes when it's like, hey, that was a really good idea, and no one acknowledges that, kind of hurts your feelings a little bit. And so there's been times where internally I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Well, fuck this shit. Like, I've had that exact thought, so it's like I feel for him there.
Yeah, but you like show it. You're just like, you get so sad.
Yeah, I get like him.
Yeah.
He'll be here. You guys relax. Have faith.
Don't slit your wrist, Kane. I'm here. Gentlemen, levels 10 through 15, all done.
Oh my god. I told you.
All right. Who wants a piece of the gray bush?
Okay, so this is probably accurate for the time, but we do not give paper reports. We don't have like a laminated document that we hand over. It's like, I did my levels. Most of it's done online. There's several different programs you can use to like make test cases and mark them and write bugs and stuff. That would suck to have to do that shit by hand.
Yeah.
I don't even know how do you just like print out screenshots and attach them to your report and be like, this is screenshot A, it goes with bug number 7.
Actually, like during an interview with a smaller company, he was telling me that like the person I was interviewing with told me that he worked at a company in Japan, and they like had to submit like bugs like on sticky notes, and then they had like a box, and they would just put the sticky notes in the box.
Wow. Just deliver the box to whoever's fixing the bugs. Alright, here you go, take your pick. Just put your hand in the box, pull out a bug. It's alright, I guess I'm fixing that one. I mean, that could be kind of fun, I guess. And bring some mystery to your... What are you doing, Oreo? There's a cattail.
Well, Mr. Cheezel, not only have these guys found all the bugs, but we have detailed instructions on how to fix them. Back on schedule.
Phenomenal. Great energy. Great energy.
I don't know how they know that they found all the bugs. There's not like a percentage as you're writing bugs that's like, alright, yep, you're getting close to getting all of them. Like, I don't know how they quantified that. And that kind of bothered me.
I think there might be like major bugs, not like small bugs, or maybe like they had a person that like ran through the whole thing, and then they were like, this is where this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, let's see if you can repro this, or something like that. Like a speedrunner, and then they do a little marketing.
Yeah, like someone did it end to end, and then they divided up the levels to try to reproduce all the bugs and try to find any outstanding ones or whatever.
Yeah, and then that's what the videos could have been for. Like this.
Oh yeah, from the laptop.
I don't know.
We're probably looking too deeply into it, but I'm just saying.
You know, Mr. Cheezel, fly with the seabirds or whatever you were talking about.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, rage it up. Rage all you want.
Dinner on the company. I've gotten several lunches, even in interviews. I've had lunch interviews where the company pays for lunch and stuff like that. So that's not too uncommon.
Yeah. Same with interviews, and well, it's for like actually eating, like onboarding stuff, like taking me out and like getting to know the team type stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know about like crunch time, like meals or stuff like that.
I remember a couple years ago at Microsoft, no wait, that wasn't paid for by the company, but they got us pizza a few times.
You even bought us pizza.
Well, okay, I bought everyone pizza because y'all didn't have any food, and I felt bad, and I was like, man, I'm over here eating, and they're just looking all sad and shit. I know they're scared. They're not gonna ask nobody for food. Y'all want some pizza? But yeah, even in my current company, we'll all go out to lunch, usually to celebrate like a milestone or something. And it'll be on the company, or it'll just be for no reason. The leadership will be like, all right, let's all go to lunch. It's on the company. Let's go. But yeah, that stuff happens.
Let's go make fun of the vegans and their crazy lifestyle. We're not hurting anyone. Go eat a hamburger and choke on a cow dick.
Oh, someone missed their yoga class this morning. Come on, let's go.
Nice karma, guy blow.
You said it wrong, stupid. It's Shiloh.
Really sorry, sir.
You were sweet.
Okay, how do you think about that?
I mean, like, veganism back in the day was completely different to what it is now.
Yeah.
Didn't have Impossible Burger, Beyond Burger, like, a lot of burgers were made with, like, tofu or something like that.
That didn't even sound that weird, though. Bean sprout quesadilla.
Yeah, but a lot of people are like put off of like the whole vegan thing. Even like at work. Like I know it's like a place where we're not like focused on food, but like people are still like.
I remember.
Yeah, he judged me hella.
I didn't judge you. I'd
No,
mainly
you
just
didn't.
forget. I'd be like, hey, I got a bean and cheese burrito on the freezer. You can have it.
What?
Hmm?
Or when you ordered us all pizza and you're like, why aren't you eating?
Yeah, what's up, dude? I got you pizza. Fucking eat that shit. You're like, I'm vegan. I was like, what does that mean? Yeah, I'd always just like buy extra shit, and then if she didn't have food, I'd offer it to her because I forget that she's vegan. She's like, thanks, but you know, I'm vegan. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Whatever, it's in the freezer if you want it. Took me a while to realize what the fuck that meant.
That's sad.
Well, I thought it was the same thing as vegetarian.
How dare you? How dare you be in my presence?
I apologize. I mean, I know about it now. I think I'm pretty good at it now.
Yeah.
Then I woke up one day and realized I was miserable, so I walked into my boss's office and I said, Dad, I quit.
Dad, nice name drop.
Look, at the end of the day, you have to do what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Plus, you can't get stoned and be an accountant. Make too many mistakes, you lose people millions of dollars, you get fired.
Dude, can we go back to your grandma's house? I have to use the bathroom.
We're not going to my grandma.
There are people who are just like testers for like 10, 15, 20 years, and they're just like really happy and comfortable with it and shit. It's like, yeah, dude, this is just what I do. So yeah, that's not inaccurate either. But like, yeah, I'm cool with this. Especially if you're like in a stable place where you're not trying to find a new contract every few months or whatever. It'll be pretty easy to get comfortable like that.
Yeah, I've definitely known people that have been like just a regular tester for like years and years and years, and they're like much older than me. They're like in their 50s or 40s or something like that. And it like surprises me every time. I'm like, I'm in my 20s. Y'all
Yeah.
are older than me.
It still weirds me out to be in a senior position to people who are like way like double your age or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you've been doing this for like longer than I was speaking in articulate sentences. I'm your boss right now. What do I do now? Come on, man, you're like 50. No, that shit's weird, but it happens. Some people just don't have like that like leadership type personality where they can delegate work and tell people what to do and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they stay in a less senior position. And some people just don't like the pressure of that kind of shit.
I know I don't like it, but I still get every now and then they're like, you seem like you know what you're doing. Here you go.
It's a good experience. It looks good on your resume and stuff like that. So it's always good to take that opportunity if you can.
Yeah.
Into the atmosphere.
It really is amazing.
Yes. If you turn your attention to the monitor, I'll give you a glimpse at the future. Prepare your mind.
I also like their meetings. Everyone has notepads, like they're taking notes on what their assignments are, and it has a monitor to show different presentations and obviously games and stuff like that. They did a good job with the meeting room.
Yeah, I agree.
So overall, I think they did a really good job. We obviously weren't testing around the time this movie was made, but a lot of stuff still applies, and they did a good job not only capturing the
Environment.
yeah, the environment and the feel and the culture of like game design, but they also like did a good job spinning it in a comedic way.
Yeah, I think a lot of it still holds up to today. There's probably some stuff that we're not even aware that happened back in the day, and especially since like a lot of technology has changed and like contracts might be a little stricter than back in the day or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I still want to play his game though. Demonic looks badass. Like when I saw this as a kid, I was like, that looks like a tight game, and I looked it up and it wasn't a fucking game. And now I'm like, man, like that's not. Whoever worked on that for the movie, like the animations and the art for all that, that's obviously it wasn't a real game, because in the background, especially the scene where JP and the grandma were talking, you could see the players' names getting entered into the game. JP and Lily on the bottom right of each screen, but neither of them had controllers in their hands. They're on the table, so it's like it's just like a CG animation or whatever. I don't think it was ever like a playable build, but it would still be cool to have like at least all the footage or something.
oh yeah.
So that's it. We're gonna try to find other stuff that involves video games and react to it, but there's really not a lot in media. It's not like doctors and lawyers who have like a bunch of TV shows made about them. But yeah, we'll probably come back when we find something substantial like this movie. Let us know what you think, like and subscribe, and yeah, until next time.